This week in Life in the Park, the city proposes new bikeways in our city. Get help starting your new business? Also, learn about climate change and how we can be more resilient. Plus, more news you can use.
Welcome to this week's edition of Life in the Park. I'm Scott Smith. In our cover story, Jane Kim visits with Rob Smoland about the Open to Business program available to local businesses. That's coming up, but first, here's news you can use. City staff is beginning the feasibility analysis for a number of bikeway segments that are anticipated to be constructed in the fall of 2015. Proposed bikeway locations include Texas Avenue from Cedar Lake Road to Wayzata Boulevard, 14th Street, Flag Avenue, Westmoreland Lane, and Franklin Avenue from Wayzata Boulevard to Texas Avenue, and Shallard Parkway, Ford Road, and Wayzata Boulevard in Shallard Park. You're invited to attend a neighborhood open house meeting that'll be on Wednesday, August 12th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the St. Louis Park Municipal Service Center, 7305 Oxford Street. Staff will provide project updates, including preliminary design progress, bikeway design considerations, and a design schedule. Residents will have an opportunity to review and comment on the preliminary plans for this proposed project. The city will be forwarding a recommendation for City Council consideration and approval in mid-September. The primary election for the mayor of St. Louis Park is on Tuesday, August 11th. To find out where you need to go to vote, simply go to the city website, stlouispark.org, click on the Elections tab, and scroll down to Where Do I Vote? Click on the My Neighborhood icon and type in your address. Be sure to get out and vote. The summer concert series continues on Wednesday, August 12th with The Sound of Simon, music of Simon and Garfunkel, from 7 to 8:30 p.m. at Veterans Memorial Amphitheater in Wolf Park, 3700 Monterey Drive. The free performance is brought to you by the St. Louis Park Operations and Recreation Department and the St. Louis Park Rotary. Last week's tribute to Billie Hallquist featuring the music of Bob Dylan would have been sold out if it wasn't free. Hundreds of fans filled the amphitheater to capacity to salute Billie and Bob, and the money raised for Guitars for Vets from both performances in Maple Grove and St. Louis Park tribute shows was a record setter at over $7,000. If you missed the concert, be sure to catch it at parktv.org. Click on Demand. Hey, Fair for All is coming up. The next Fair for All will be on Tuesday, August 11th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Central Community Center, 6300 Walker Street. And for more information, go to fairforall.org. Sustainable SLP will be hosting a free and public climate resilience event on Tuesday, August 11th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. at the Rec Center. Meet Dr. Mark Seeley, state climatologist and professor at the University of Minnesota, and Patrick Hamilton, director of Global Change Initiatives at the Science Museum of Minnesota, who will speak on climate change in Minnesota and how we can be more resilient in a changing environment. This event was made possible through the Environmental Assistance Time-Sensitive Grant Program administered through the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. The St. Louis Park Fire and Police Departments offer free medication disposal bags to dispose of unused medications in the home. Proper disposal of prescription and over-the-counter medications prevent those chemicals from entering groundwater and drinking water, which can happen when medications are thrown away in the garbage, flushed down the toilet, or washed down the drain. Ridding your home of unused medications also reduces the risk of accidental consumption by children or pets. Each free medication disposal bag holds up to 90 pills, 12 ounces of liquid medication, or 12 transdermal patches. The bags contain activated carbon, which neutralizes the medication and prevents it from contaminating groundwater and drinking water. Medication pickup bags are available for pickup Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30 p.m. at the St. Louis Park Fire Station 1, 3750 Wooddale Avenue South, or at the St. Louis Park Police Department, which is located on the south side of the parking lot of St. Louis Park City Hall, 5005 Minnetonka Boulevard. There is a limit of 2 per household for home use only. Residents interested in larger quantities of the bags may contact the police department at 952-924-2600 for information about purchasing the bags at cost. Hennepin County also has 6 drop box locations to safely dispose of large or small quantities of medications. Visit hennepin.us/medicine. And now to our cover story. Life in the Park is starting a new series called Business in the Park. Our very own Jane Kim will give you more information on the series. Jane.
Thanks, Scott. The Business in the Park series will give you business news in the park, highlighting local businesses and the city's business programs. For this week's show, we got a chance to sit down with business advisor Rob Smoland about the Open to Business program. Take a look.
The Open to Business program is an innovative way for cities to extend their economic development efforts, primarily focusing on providing intensive one-on-one counseling to prospective entrepreneurs or existing businesses in their community. We help folks really determine feasibility for their idea or help them achieve their goals in their business growth strategies. We help them access capital. We help them determine how much capital they need, whether to start a business or to grow a business. In St. Louis Park, anybody who is either a resident or has a business or is planning to open a business in St. Louis Park, we cover a lot of the cities that are bordering, most cities that are bordering St. Louis Park too. So there's, I'll meet with clients that they just have to have some kind of relationship to one of our Open to Business cities. I call it the trilogy of management. I have 3 boxes that I try to put people in. Hate putting people in boxes, but for this purpose you have to, because you really have to understand the strengths and the weaknesses of an entrepreneur. So there's 3 boxes. One is the product and service. That's what usually motivates people to open up a business, because they're an expert and they're passionate about that product, whether it's personal training, whether it's food or what have you. Then the next box would be the marketing, but there's 2 aspects to the marketing. One, you have to do your market research, which is a different skill set than the other part of the marketing, doing the market research to determine if there is a market for your product and service. Then the other part of the marketing box is connecting the 2. That's the advertising, the public relations, the strategies on how to connect those 2. And again, there are 2 different skill sets within that box. And the final box, which is the toughest box I have found in doing this work for over 16 years, is the financial management box. I think a lot of entrepreneurs are scared of that. They don't want to go into that box. They don't want to even touch it because they're fearful that it might squash their entrepreneurial dreams. But my goal in this work is really try to demystify that box, help them understand it, help them to see how important it is to determine feasibility of their business idea. We'll help people understand real estate, leasing terms. How do you go into a commercial lease agreement? I'm not a lawyer, but I can understand a little bit what's going on in a commercial lease. It's much different than a residential lease, and we help prepare the clients to go in front of a lawyer, to ask the right questions. We help with marketing ideas, brainstorming on marketing ideas, making sure that they're they have clearly defined who their target market is, and then come up with strategies on how to reach those target markets. I think it would be beneficial because it would be good to get an outside objective view on your business idea. And sometimes I never know how I'm going to help people until I sit down with them and understand the whole picture. I always tell people they want to maybe talk on the phone and get consultation, but I tell folks, phone consultations are good, but they're limited, because I do believe that 90% of communication is nonverbal. So I really have to have that one-on-one, in-person meeting experience to do my best work.
Open to Business takes place on the 4th Monday of each month between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. at City Hall. Walk-in meetings are available. For more information, call Rob Smoland at 612-789-7337.
Thanks, Jane. Remember, you can always keep up to date in the park by visiting our Facebook page at facebook.com/St. Louis Park. So that's it for this week's edition of Life in the Park. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Park TV. The City of St. Louis Park would like you to know that local businesses along Minnetonka Boulevard are still open during road construction. Your local businesses invite you to stop by for all of your business needs. Thank you.